Alrighty guys, we're back for Urza's Incubators, and this is a March of the Machine standard brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? This one's gonna be pretty janky probably, but it's gonna be fun. We got 3 Elesh Norns in here. This is a 4 mana 3/5 with Vigilance. It's a legendary creature. Whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to you or a permanent you control, that source's controller loses 2 life unless they pay 1 mana. Pretty powerful card, man. Just like, I love the stats on this too, being a 3/5 Vigilance. That's pretty hard to remove, kind of, sort of, right? So, bottom ability here for 2 and a white, sacrifice 3 other creatures. Exile Elesh Norn. Then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery. So it comes out as the Argent Etchings. So this is a saga. And for the first chapter, incubate 2 5 times, then transform all incubator tokens you control. Oh my. And then chapter 2 here, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain double strike until end of turn. Okay. And then chapter 3, destroy all other permanents except for artifacts, lands, and Phyrexians. Exile the Argent Etchings and then return it to the battlefield front face up, so it comes back as Elesh Norn at that point. So yeah, pretty powerful card overall, guys. So what else do we got packed in here? Well, it is Urza's Incubator, so I got 2 different versions of Urza. We got Urza Lord Protector here. It's a 3 mana 2/4 artifact, instant, and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And then for 7 mana, if you both own and control Urza Lord Protector and an artifact named Might and Weakstone, exile them, then meld them into Urza Planeswalker, activate only as a sorcery. So, Mightstone and Weakstone, of course, making an appearance here. We have all 4 of them. Even though it's legendary, dude, we don't care. We don't care one bit. Like, the number of times you just play a Mightstone and Weakstone on top of another one, and just because its ability is strong enough, the -5/-5 is strong enough in and of itself, but if you're not using it as removal, then restocking your hand is excellent. I think there's actually a good chance in this particular deck that we'll actually be able to flip into the Urza Planeswalker, but we'll see. It happens to have a pretty big target on its back, so yeah. The other Urza is Prince of Kroog. This is a 4 mana legendary creature, of course, with 2/3, so it gets picked up by Cut Down, which Cut Down ruins so many cool creatures. Anyways, artifact creatures you control get +2/+2. Nice. So of course that's going to work with the incubator theme, which we'll go over more in just a second. For 6 mana, create a token that's a copy of target artifact you control, except it's a 1/1 soldier creature in addition to its other types. Nice, not terrible at all. We might want to go down to 2 of these, but like I said, it's going to be a janky build anyways. I really want to see my Urzas, so yeah. What else do we got packed in here? Well, Thran Spider, the Power Stones are going to go a long way, but why are they going to go a long way? Well, we got a bunch of things that create incubators, so Norn's Inquisitor being one of them. It's a 2 mana 1/1. When Norn's Inquisitor enters the battlefield, you get to incubate 2, so you get a little incubator token, and then for 2 mana, you can transform the artifact, and it transforms into a, what does it transform into? A 0/0 Phyrexian artifact creature, and then it'll get the number of +1/+1 counters on it, which would be 2 from the Inquisitor, for example, right? So whenever a permanent you control transforms into a Phyrexian, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So that's pretty solid in and of itself. You get a couple of these down on the board, start turning your incubators into Phyrexian artifact creatures, and then maybe on turn 4, buff them all with the Urza Prince of Kroog. Sounds pretty powerful, huh? Oh no, guys, we got counter spells in here. Disgusting. Now, Assimilate Essence is a 2 mana instant, and this one's in here because it has the potential to incubate 2, which is cool. So counter target creature or battle spell unless its controller pays 4. I think you're gonna hit a lot of creatures in pretty much any build anyways, regardless of mid-range, regardless of control. There's a lot of things just playing a bunch of great creatures, so... And then we are seeing battles, so yeah. If the opponent does pay 4, you get to incubate 2, which is not half bad, huh? In a deck where we really want to see those artifacts anyways. So we have a couple make, or yeah, 3 make disappears because, you know, we're already playing the other counter spell, so we're going to be holding open that mana anyway. So Reckoner Bankbuster is going to be a good one. If we are holding open that make disappear and we don't use it, then drawing a card off of Bankbuster is of course going to be great, and it's going to be fitting the artifact theme. Couple Fateful Absence for the creatures that do slip by the counter spells. Same concept for Fading Hope. Bounce them back to the hand, maybe get a second chance at actually countering them. Also, just opting for a little bit more tempo in this particular build, where we're going to be able to actually get a fair bit of creatures on the board and start getting those incubator tokens flipped. So a little bit of tempo goes a long way, and the Fading Hope Scry is excellent too. Got a couple bro, I have no idea. The Exarch. This is double X and white in the casting cost. It's a 1/2. The Phyrexian Cat. Look at that. That's cool, huh? So when Exarch enters the battlefield, incubate 3x times. So if you pay this and you pay it as a 3 mana card, it comes out as a 1/2, and then you'll be able to have an incubator token with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Not half bad. I don't think we want more than 2, but maybe it's just an MVP of the build, and we'll talk more about that in the final thoughts, of course. Now, at the bottom here, you can actually tap, transform target incubator token you controlled. Now that is actually really good, right? So instead of paying the 2 mana to incubate, you can just tap this and get that incubator token as a creature immediately. Pretty cool. Now, of course, this doesn't have haste, so that is something to consider for sure. Okay, yeah, between all the power stones and everything, we're going to easily be able to turn the incubator tokens into creatures, right? Even the Mightstone, Weakstone, you know, you can tap it for the 2 colorless, which works really well with the Bankbuster, or just use it to make an incubator token of Phyrexian artifact, right? So that's the list, guys. Really simple. Nothing to ramp into off of all the extra power stones, just the abilities and the incubator tokens, which I think is more than enough, right? Like the ability on Urza is 7 mana. Of course, we can use the power stones then to activate that. So, and then this is even 6 mana on this one. So even the ability on Elesh Norn gets cheaper. You could do 1 white and a Mightstone Weakstone and use that ability on Elesh Norn. And sacrificing 3 other creatures honestly wouldn't be too difficult in this deck, since we do have so many ways to get those incubator tokens. Honorable mentions, guys. I actually forgot to add a couple honorable mentions, but board wipes. This is the deck that doesn't necessarily mind dropping a board wipe, because you'll still have your token, your incubator tokens and your Bankbusters survive, and then you wipe the opponent's board. I really should have included that in the honorable mentions, but nope, not this time round. No board wipes. Also, this is not a Chrome Host Seed Shark build by any means, so I added it in the honorable mentions because I think we'd want to actually have a dedicated list for the Host Seed Shark. I think this card looks terrific, man. Something with Izzet or Jeskai or anything fancy like that. This card just looks really, really cool. It gives us those incubator tokens, but not this time around, man. We actually have a lot of creatures packed in here, and I think there would be a lot of turns where the Seed Shark is just a 2/4 flyer, and it doesn't do anything else because we just played a creature. So yeah, Unctus almost made the list. It could be pretty cool, man. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. Not this time around, though. So Urza's command is actually relatively strong, too. Almost made the cut. Not this time around. All right, that's the list, guys. Hey, Soaring City, Seat of the Empire, and an even split in the mana base, even though we are leaning a little bit towards white. I don't think that's going to matter. We do want our early blue sources for the counter spells, especially. So that's that, guys. Now, like I said earlier, you know, I play red decks and aggro decks and any decks with red in them. Well, what am I doing playing this one? I am crazy enough to think that this is going to be relatively aggressive, leaning closer to tempo than anything else. So yeah, I do think this is going to be a tempo build, which is kind of sort of aggro. So yeah, hey, enough rambling, huh? Let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how we do. All right, guys, right into the first match. Let's go. What am I expecting from the build? Bro, you can't expect too much, and I do think this one's going to be pretty janky, but overall, I think we'll be able to pull off some cool things here and there. Other words, of course, I wouldn't be playing it. If I didn't think we could pull off something, then obviously I would not play it. Right. This is a good hand. This is a terrific hand, man. Got the turn 1 Fading Hope open, not bad. If we would have went first here, dude. Oh, nice. Land, that's good for us. Just gonna go right into the Norn's Inquisitor here and then go into the Lord Protector next turn. Because it makes the Bankbuster cheaper and we might be able to pull off a 3-mana Exarch and then a 1-mana Bankbuster. Cut down, number 1, out of the deck. Cut down doesn't hit the first Urza, but it does hit the Prince Urza. And the more I think about that, the more I'm thinking we want to drop it down to 2 and then just find more. Discard the one of the land, right? I think one of the land is fine. We have a good chunk of land in here. We do like to see the land, though. Okay, that's fine. Could hit the Liliana with our 2/2 Incubator. Unfortunately, that can't power up Bankbuster. Oh, Bankbuster doesn't have haste anyways. We might end up... So they -2 the Liliana. Oh, I don't know. How do we play around that? I guess it was the Exarch. I'm trying to do too many fancy things at once, but the -2 on Liliana is such an easy play for them that was not the best move on my part. Passes right back to us. What on earth are they keeping open over there? That's relatively scary, honestly. I guess like baiting out the Liliana, like this isn't even guaranteed now because they could just spot remove the 2/2. So yeah, it wasn't the best play because we could have baited out the Liliana with the Exarch too, probably. Fading Hope doesn't do anything because that's a token. And Bankbuster hits the board and we're kind of sort of in trouble, guys. The Liliana lockdown is a very real thing. I'm actually going to get rid of the Fading Hope here. Yeah, the old-fashioned Liliana lockdown makes it to where it's like, if it's too hard to remove and they just keep on... They're not getting too much value from what they're sending here. Honestly, we don't need to put the wastes down. We can discard the wastes. That way we never take any damage. Could draw. I think we're just going to go X's 2. And see, now they have the -2 on the Liliana, so we still can't swing in at the Liliana. They don't even need it. They could go +1, get rid of our land. These incubators might be enough value to help us keep up, though. See, now we have to hit it for 4, and the incubators don't hit it unless we power them both up. They have the draw and Bankbuster, but they're out of cards, so nice. Actually, we can power up Bankbuster too, but we're not going to. We're gonna get the draw on the Bankbuster, and then double swing. Yeah, we're gonna draw on Bankbuster. That's gonna be super important. Get that Liliana out of here, man. Get it out of here. Let's go. Okay, have our Bankbuster open for no reason other than just doing something on the opponent's turn. Oh, this is like a 5-color deck or something. Dude, we need an answer for Atsushi now. We found an answer for one thing. They can power up Bankbuster swing. They're not going to, though. Dude, Urza. They already used 2 of their cutdowns, too. Wow, that's a good draw, man. Should we draw off a Bankbuster first, maybe? Because we still have enough mana and they don't have anything in hand. Mightstone, Weakstone. -5 the Atsushi, they get a bunch. Power up Bankbuster, they still have a blocker on the ground then. Maybe it is a surprise Urza next turn. And take care of Atsushi this turn. Atsushi, oh, they don't have to grab treasures though. Oh well, I'm still doing it. They could exile the top 2. And they didn't power up Bankbuster, so we do get a swing here. Oh, wow, nice. They saw a Shieldred. Yeah, they could have powered up Bankbuster to block one of the 3/3s, and then that could have been bad for us. Shieldred was a great draw for them. If they actually see a land here, they could play the Harvester too, so. Yep, we get the draw. Make Disappear would have been great. Oh my goodness. All right, 2. We start with Urza. We have 5 mana available, so we can't use its ability. Even so, there's not too much in here that we necessarily want to copy. I guess like copying Bankbuster as a 1/1 is completely fine. We power up Bankbuster. So we end up swinging regardless, because any trade, or if they take the 4, like that's just so good for us. You know what I mean? I guess we do draw on our turn. We probably should have already, honestly, before combat, because it could have had a chance of affecting combat too. And we'll play this, and we have the Make Disappear open if they find something huge. Yeah, dude, this is sick, man. They could try to find a cut down for the Urza. That would be like best case scenario for them, because then they could just chill with the Shieldred for a while and continuously block. And a cut down, you know, Make Disappear. Yeah, we'll hit that. We'll hit that. Less blockers, keep them at 8, and that acts as a source of removal too, so they have 1 mana over here, and that could still be a cut down. It could be. They'd want to do it while we didn't have a counter spell in hand, you know? Alright. Through on up. This doesn't get haste, right? I don't believe so. I don't believe the copy would get haste or anything fancy. Yeah, GG opponent. GG, buddy. So it still could have been that potential cut down, though. So we were definitely playing it all out safely, cautiously. Because if they cut down the Urza, these would have lost the +2/+2, and so would have the Bankbuster. They would have been able to block the Bankbuster with Shieldred, only taking 6. Then they would have gained another 2 off of Shieldred, just like the way this card holds it up, man. That was great. That was good. I don't exactly know what the opponent was playing. I guess it was just Jund, right? Jund, and it didn't feel like they were seeing too much overall. After we were able to get out of the Liliana lockdown state, once we were able to get through that, and they didn't actually value too much from that state that Liliana put us in either. Like when they were discarding, they didn't get a chance to discard any like Tenacious Underdog or anything else that wanted to be in the grave either, so. Alright, we'll give it a shot. I don't mind this at all. Might even keep the Make Disappear open depending on what the opponent's playing. Start with the plains, that's fine. Tapped tells me Inquisitor. This is probably going to be a slower deck since it's rocking the Shipwreck Marsh. Oh, Giada, wow. That would have been so good to hit the Make Disappear with. We don't have the second blue to go Fading Hope either, so yeah. I guess we'll go double white, power this up, and get a swing in. Thran Spider's good too, though. We get a swing in because we have Fading Hope open here. And then what we end up doing is potentially bouncing whatever they play next turn. I just hope it doesn't have an ETB, which, you know, that 1/3 drop angel that does. Thran Spider's good against angels, but like, I don't know. Go for swing because vigilance, right? We bounce it, I think we just take the 2 first. Like, we wait to see what they're doing here. Flash flying, you may look at the top card of your library. Cast spells, flash. Okay. So that is probably worth bouncing with the Fading Hope, right? Fateful Absence. Okay, we keep that. They didn't draw their 3rd land, so like Fateful Absence just hitting the Giada is completely fine here. Making it so that way maybe... Do we do it on our turn too? Because they have blue sources. I guess so. I guess so. If they don't find the third mana, then they use the clue to find it. Go for the throat, doesn't hit the artifact. Oh, wow. Well, now it's between Thran Spider or just keeping Make Disappear, and it's going to be Make Disappear because the opponent's not finding their land, unfortunately. There it is. And Make Disappear. I'm sorry, opponent. I'm sorry, buddy. Just keep open Make Disappear number 2 as well, probably. Like, we have the tempo on our side, so... It's brutal, man. I mean, technically, it could still go either way. Yeah, Make Disappear number 2. Swing for 3. It could still go either way. I believe that. I do. Down to 2. Urza is going to be the play because 2 Thran Spiders could come down next turn then. Overseer. See, they gained some life here. That's not bad. Up to 3. They block. They found more mana. They have a block here and take 2. Like, they're still in this, guys. They are. Full swing. Like, they could find a board wipe, too. That could be very bad. Maybe we only play 1 Thran Spider. Nah. We're giving them Power Stones too. They could find another Steel Seraph to play. Doesn't have haste though, so use the Power Stones for the clue. Perfect. That's something to think about, actually. We're using Fateful Absence as a source of removal, but then we're also playing Thran Spider. So, like, okay, they need to take care of a creature here. They do find a way to take care of a creature, but we're wide enough. So we just had enough tempo there the whole time. Like, the Fading Hope, they were missing enough lands to make the Make Disappear is just absolutely brutal. GG, man. If they had the mana, I don't know if that would be leaning towards us by any means. We drew too many, like, Thran Spiders, not enough of other stuff either. We kind of drew exactly what we needed to draw for the opponent to not see their land, you know? You know what I mean? Which definitely sucks for the opponent, but cool, cool. We're doing great so far. I don't think that's how well the deck is always going to perform. But you never know, man. You never know. I mean, the Incubator tokens seem really powerful so far, don't they? Good hand. Of course, we're always going to get the opposite Urza with the Mightstone Weakstone, but that's fine. Eventually, we'll get to see Urza Planeswalker at some point. Honestly, guys, it's not a bad one to see, as long as you just see the 2 cards. Or it's not a hard one to get out because of all the extra Power Stone ramp. Allenbach, it's been forever, Allenbach. Oh, Sentinel, dude. It's been forever, man. All right. Norn's Inquisitor. Turn 3, Thran Spider is completely fine. And now the opponent going first here is pretty scary. This would have been a great deck to actually see. Like, this would have been great to hold up a Make Disappear here. Yeah, to hit their 3-drop. But yeah. We probably blocked the Allenbach Escort. And now our Incubator doesn't get an extra... Our Incubator doesn't get an extra +1 when it comes in. But I still think taking care of the Escort is really good. Especially since we don't know where they're going to get the +1/+1 counters either. This could be like a Kayla's Command deck, you know? Kayla's Command is very powerful, dude. Intrepid Adversary, nice. So we have Urza, Prince of Kroog next turn, making the Thran Spider just an epic blocker. But we also have Mightstone Weakstone to take out Adeline. So that's probably what we do. Although taking out Intrepid Adversary wouldn't be bad either. Oh, we're gonna die, guys. We're gonna, like... How do we do this? Wow, the opponent's deck was wickedly fast here. We go Mightstone into Adeline. They won't go wide anymore. Intrepid Adversary is still just as brutal, though, and it's not like we'll have an additional blocker. If we go Norn's Inquisitor and power up the Incubator... Nope, I don't think that's the play either. I don't think anything is the best play here. I think taking out Adeline would be fine. We don't want to hit Adversary because they're still going to go just as wide. And then we can transform the Incubator on their turn as an additional blocker. And we'll do it as a surprise too. Because we don't want them to just like play a Brutal Cathar and pick up the token. Mightstone, Weakstone, already proving that it works like really well. I mean, it's obvious, but like it really, that's really good. The fact that we're able to do that and bring out the token here. I'm just gonna do it now. I don't like when we just like sit there holding up the opponent. Trade. Oh, we take 4 then. So I guess we chump, right? Take 2. I guess we still could perish. Yeah, so we're forced to chump there because we're so low. Down to 1. Is there gonna be a way through? I don't think so. Opponent, yeah, just playing a couple more creatures. Going wide enough here is huge for them. What would we need to see? Norn's Inquisitor blocks well. Wow, dude, yeah, they definitely went wide enough. There's no way. City of the Empire takes care of 1 if we have enough mana left over after the fact, right? So we have 4 if we go here, right? 1, 2, 3. We go Inquisitor. Nope. Nope. We still have a mana in hand if we want to play it out like that. I can't believe how wide they went last turn, guys. Couple 1-drops and the Sentinel. That was insane, dude. That was insane. We had 1 more mana on the board. Then we'd be able to get the Urza down as well, which might have come in handy. We have Incubator to power up, or City of the Empire, and it's just not enough. Very fast, very aggressive plays from the opponent. Yeah, I'm surprised we were able to defend this long, though. I'm actually relatively impressed that this deck was able to put up with that amount of power, just turn after turn. So they don't know what's in hand, so they might be trying to think of a way, but yeah, it's definitely the full swing regardless of what we have in hand, so... Got buffs there. Exiles. So how we end up doing this is we block here, we trade here, and we Seated the Empire, the Hopeful Initiate, and then we take the 1. It's rough, man. I wonder what they drew. Ah, activate the ability. Yeah, using the Power Stones we gave you. Sounds good. Any amount of life gain in this match would have kept us in, and so I wonder if there's a way to squeeze an amount of life gain in this. So far, I'm not terribly impressed with Thran Spider, although it's a very important artifact creature for this build. There's something about like not having too much on the top to ramp, but if we didn't have the ramp, even if we had more, like, yeah, powering up that Incubator token would have kept us alive that turn, too. I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. Did I have fun that game? I mean, yeah, technically I did have fun. Even though we lost, it was still, like, a nice little puzzle to try to solve, you know what I mean? So, there might have actually been a way to solve it, too. That's one of those matches where we go back and check and see. And then, of course, if you guys saw a way through, let me know in the comments for sure. Guys, we have time for like 1 or 2 games, and this is a pretty fun deck so far. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone, rocking colors, a color combination that we don't play too often, but you know, we have, especially tempo builds in the past too, or of course like soldiers and stuff, right? We go first. That means the Make Disappear actually comes in handy. It's a slow hand. Elesh Norn's awesome, dude, so let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Imagine if we had Elesh Norn on the board last game. You know what I mean? That's pretty crazy to think about. Oh, mono red. Well, we definitely need to see something a little bit faster here. Is that worth the counter? I think that's worth it. That's a 2/2 Flying Phoenix, man. Play a fire our face? Sure. I think that Phoenix is worth it. I don't know. Like, they could bring it back later on, sure, but Urza blocks the Commando so well, but we might actually take the Commando damage so that way they don't just drop the burn. Maybe we should have... Oh, wow, now they can't swing with Etching unless they play a mana, yep. So it could still be a play with fire. It was not. They did not want to risk the block. Elesh Norn, man. Could keep Make Disappear, sure, but... Elesh Norn. It's a 3/5, dude. We play it. Look at Urza and Elesh Norn working together. Look at them go. That's pretty cool, man. That's cool. All right. We need to see something better, though. Like, we're drawing too much land right now, for sure. Ooh, Mechanized War. What? Dude, no, I would have loved to play that one out. I'm surprised they dropped the concede. Even, look, I get it, like the Elesh Norn making them take damage, but they're at 20. It's not like they were low health. Mechanized Warfare does mean... Oh. They didn't have a second... Wait. They wasted their impulse, right? Is that what it was? I think so. They played Warfare and they played Impulse for nothing last turn. They were about to lose the Lightning Strike and the Squee. I think that's what ended up happening there, guys. And then at that point, now we had enough value. We were going to untap, potentially get a 5th mana. Okay, I understand the concede now. I do. I thought Warfare was going to be like, oh yeah, because now 1 Lightning Strike takes care of the Urza, right? And doing 5 damage to the Norn wouldn't be that bad once the Mechanized Warfare hit either, so... That was a fast one, guys. Let's go ahead and try to squeeze one more game in, then talk about this pretty fun list, dude. I'm having a good time just slamming the cards on the board. Urza, Prince of Kroog. We go first here, too. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You know what? Let's give it a shot. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with how the deck has performed so far. We got decent pieces of early removal to try to slow the opponent down. Get the Scry real quick. Yeah, Bankbuster, nice. Keep that. They'll get their swing next turn, but we didn't have the turn 2 Fateful Absence anyways, so Bankbuster is excellent. If we slowed down Fading Hope on like a turn 2, we wouldn't have been able to scry, so we wouldn't know if we were drawing like a Bankbuster or just another land, which would have been relatively bad too. Beach is on the board, Fateful Absence is open, Bankbuster is open. Probably going to be a Fateful Absence this turn, but we'll wait to see what ends up happening here. Mana. Alright, and then like a Lightning Strike to our face would be 9 damage. So we'd be at what, 8? So it's probably gonna have to be a Fateful Absence regardless of whether or not they're playing something here, right? Maybe they just draw. It was gonna be a Lightning Strike too, so yeah, a ton of damage to our face, dude. Down to 11 though, instead of an 8 is pretty huge. Yeah, Make Disappear would have been great. But like Urza gets picked up by a second Lightning Strike. We're gonna draw on our turn and have the Make Disappear open for their turn, and maybe we'll hit a Squee or a Mechanized Warfare. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Now this could have been a mulligan, alright? Like we could have... This one's definitely my fault if we get completely ran over. Because we could have mulliganed. Alright, Mechanized Warfare. We're calling these mono red lists, though. That's good news. I mean, we have been seeing a lot of it recently. Still gonna be something. Wow, dude, big damage. This is gonna flip into Etching next turn. We're down to 7. We can see something. Fading Hope, that's good, that's good. Like, Urza doesn't even power up the Bankbuster, which is definitely going to be something to think about. It does block Kamano, but they can power up the Foundry too. Dude, we're just in some serious trouble. Thran Spider, that's what I'm talking about. It's like now we don't have the mana for it though. Thran Spider blocks. That's something to think about with Thran Spider, right? Like I was saying earlier, I wasn't too impressed with Thran Spider, but up against Mono Red, Thran Spider's such a good blocker, dude. The way it blocks the Phoenix chick and everything too, like, it's such a good blocker. All right, we will bounce. Wow, they still have 2 mountains open. We're in trouble, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's the last mountain? It's probably something too, huh? Did they play a land this turn? They play a land this turn? Taken 5. Wow. If we had a mana like Thran Spider and the Assimilate Essence, but they're gonna have 5 land anyways. Darn. I think we send that. Yeah, this game definitely had some janky draws. Ronin comes back to hand too, so Coast comes out tapped. Wow, man. All right, we have power up Bankbuster. Play Bankbuster number 2. Either way, I think we're dead. So we start with a draw. Fateful Absence, like that's fine. But it would just be Thran Spider for the sake of blocking, but then they still have enough here, so. We were able to slow down their Mistress Foundry because they did play that land then, but have the Power Stone open. Very cool. I actually, like, I'm just enjoying the lines of play, the simple lines of play. I definitely think we're going to need to drop an Urza Prince of Kroog. It's really cool, and the +2/+2 actually helped us win that one game, right? But I think 3 of them might just be too much overall. Yeah, there's no way that this is... There's no way that that Swift Spear isn't going to end us here, right? Just like play with fire. Well, play with fire our face too then. You know what? Maybe... maybe we're alive. Find something with the clue. See it? They have 3 cards in hand. Like, come on. It's got to be mono reds here, right? It's got to be. There it is. They found the lightning strike. Hey, good game. Good game, opponent. Well, we're about 37 minutes in. Unfortunately, I actually am having a good time playing this, although it's probably gonna lean towards mono red and stuff in general. Had we drawn a little better though? If we could get that Thran Spider down earlier? I don't know, man. We might still be in there. Let's talk about this list, huh? Urza's Incubators. This was fun, man. This was a good time. We didn't get to see Urza Planeswalker today, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. Of course, just seeing the 2 cards together happens to be a lot harder than you would ever expect. And it's not like we have 4 of the Lord Protectors either. And we don't want 4 in this one. If this was like a control deck, like through and through just control, then 4 and 4 would be fine because... I don't know, that just makes more sense. Since we are leaning towards tempo, we're trying to get creatures, we're trying to swing in. I think the 3 makes more sense here. Making artifacts, instants, and sorcery spells cost 1 less is just kind of ridiculous, man. Because when you have like Mightstone and Weakstone being 4 mana instead of 5, or Thran Spider being 2 mana, or Bankbuster being 1 mana, all of your freaking... counter spells being 1 mana too. I mean, come on. The Lord Protector is really, really cool. And since it doesn't get picked up by Cut Down, yeah. Dude, like, it's got relatively okay stats for a deck like this, honestly. So I dropped the Urza Prince of Kroog, and from what we've seen today, when I talked about maybe going up some board wipes in the honorable mentions, I think I was wrong. I don't think this deck necessarily wants board wipes. I also would not drop the Elesh Norn. I think that every single game, if you drop this on turn 4, then all of a sudden, it's leaning towards you just a little bit. And the opponent needs to immediately remove this. And if they have any trouble removing this, like for example, mono red having to burn it, a 3/5, dude, that's some stats for mono red to get over. The Vigilance too, I don't know. You know what? Maybe we are favored against mono red, or maybe it's like a very, very close matchup. I think the Fateful Absence, the fact that the clues kind of help the opponents because they can use the Power Stones to activate the clues, we might want to think about a different removal. Problem is, Fateful Absence so reliable. Just destroy target creature Planeswalker, you know? Super reliable, instant speed. Sure, they investigate, but you know what? We could investigate too. Maybe you don't have... That's ridiculous, though. Yeah, maybe you don't have any targets for your opponents to hit. Maybe you can hit like your Norn's Inquisitor or one of your Incubate tokens. Get a clue and use your Power Stones to draw. Honestly, you never know when that would happen. There probably is a game out there where you would want to do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you never know. Like maybe you were chump blocking anyways. Well, at that point, you would just want to target their creature. Unless their creature had hexproof. Huh? Okay, alright, now we're just stretching it. Yeah, I would drop that Urza Prince of Kroog, go up another early game removal, either Fateful Absence or your choice of spot removal, right? Or another Fading Hope could go a long way, but Fading Hope versus Mono Red, not that great. You know, they got a lot of hasty creatures, a lot of small creatures. The extra Scry goes a decent way, but what would you guys add or take out? Let me know down in the comments. Like, we had a bunch of honorable mentions over here, too, that could go in the spot of the Urza Prince of Kroog. As a matter of fact, Urza, let me see here. Yeah, one of the honorable mentions was Urza's Command. Right there, the top ability, creatures you don't control get -2, -0 until end of turn. There are a lot of decks going wide right now. That is a solid ability to have, and guess what? If you don't end up using it, this is just straight up utility, because you get to choose 2 of these, man. You could just create a Power Stone token, why not? Create a tapped 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. That happens to be a terrific target to copy with the Prince of Kroog, too, where there's not too many other great artifacts to copy in here. Yeah, I guess like you could copy like Mightstone and Weakstone, and now it's a 1/1 soldier. I think you get the ETB effect, right? Wait, create a token that's a copy of a target artifact you control. Yes, yeah, it would enter the battlefield. So you would get like the Thran Spider Power Stone, which isn't like, again, that's not that good necessarily, because at that point you had 6 to begin with. Copying an Incubator token just gets you a 1/1. It doesn't copy the counters over, right? Copying the Bankbuster isn't that bad. Yeah, just having like the Urza's Command, like the extra copy for the Prince of Kroog, that's probably what I would end up doing. I would drop a Prince of Kroog, go up an Urza's Command, and you'll probably be relatively satisfied. It's gonna be jank. Like, no matter what, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It kind of outperformed in a couple of those matches, though, didn't it? I'm pretty positive it's still going to be jank regardless, though. So on that note, we're ramping relatively okay between the Mightstone, Weakstone, and the Thran Spider. I don't think we want anything else on the top, though, but you could potentially squeeze like a couple top-end artifacts. Portal to Phyrexia is probably going to be a little bit too expensive. I don't think we ever had 9 mana even with our Power Stones. Overall, I don't think I would add too many top-end things. You could try like 1 or 2. But at that point, you're using all your extra mana instead of actually powering up your Incubator tokens, which was kind of MVPs at a lot of those games, man. These Incubator tokens are strong. If you can find a list to have the Incubator tokens in, yeah, dude, I like them. This was a pretty cool one, too, even though I still don't know how to pronounce this. Progenitor. Maybe. The Exarch, right? So I like this one. I like that it can come out later on. It kind of sucks, like, I wish it was an artifact, just so we could use the Power Stones to actually use the XX ability with the Power Stones. That would be really, really cool. Really good, actually. Oh, man, I wish this was an artifact, huh? And if it was an artifact, then the Urza would make it cost less, too. That would be so cool, man. Ah, geez. Missed opportunity from Wizards of the Coast to make this an artifact. Maybe that would be too strong, though, and people would be building around it as we speak, huh? I could see dropping an Assimilate Essence and going up the 4th Make Disappear. Make Disappear is just going to hit so much all the time anyways. The the idea between the 3 and 3 split is mainly just because this one has the potential of generating incubator tokens for us, which is completely like unnecessary. So you could drop it and go up another make disappear. That would be fine. Yeah, that's what I would do, guys. All right, let me know what you would add or take out down in the comments. If you made it this far into the video, then for real, y'all are champions. Oh my goodness, what are y'all doing here? Thank you so much. Seriously, I do appreciate all that support. So, guys, I will see you in the next video.